conversation.
We will.
Just so we can talk about, the fact that
I saw you earlier, so we logged in, and for our listeners, we just didn't connect for whatever reason, which happens with our technology sometimes. And
when you say technology, you mean me.
You what?
When you say technology, you really mean me.
I mean, that's right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know how wonderful technology, in parentheses, Nick is. But sometimes our technology, Nick, really screws up.
Yep,
And
that's exactly it.
I saw you earlier, and you had this sweater on, and he still does, and it's like a zipper front sweater, and with some. I just thought he was kind of dressy for what we normally do for our podcast.
So you can't see the whole sweater though, but I get made fun of with this sweater on. It's an older swetter. I've had it probably. Yeah, right. And it's actually a very long sweater. So it goes past my hips. So it's but I've had this probably since 2006, 2005, something like that. So
and it fits again because you've lost so much weight.
Oh, now it's too big. It's always fit. It's really, really long, but I don't know. I get made fun of. It's something. It's an older sweater, so I don't really wear it out much, and it's easy to throw on. It's easy to zip up and take off because I'm wearing a t-shirt under it, and it's not that cold out. But I woke up a little chilly this morning, so I put it on, and it goes nicely with my beard.
Well, so let's talk about the beard for a second because
let's make it clear. I said beard, not beer.
No, you're not having a beer yet. That's not till 9 o'clock.
Exactly. It's only like 8:45 right now.
The beard, and when I say beard, I don't mean that Jen is your beard and you're a closet homosexual.
Right.
So I want to clear that right up from the start. But with the beard, it seems odd that you would be chilly in the morning because hunters and gatherers who go outside often have beards to help keep them warm.
I didn't say my face wasn't warm.
Huh?
I didn't say my face wasn't warm.
That's why you're not wearing a sweater on your face.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, so you have no other body hair. Is that what you're telling me?
Exactly. But I don't understand that either. Maybe it's because they wear hats too, and I'm not wearing one right now. Doesn't the heat go off the top of your head?
It does.
Yeah. So I have plenty of heat going off the top of my head, but it's being funneled more efficiently now that I have the facial hair.
Funneled to the top of your head.
Right. So
why don't you stop it by wearing I don't know. I'm thinking, remember the guy who played Carter on Hogan's Heroes?
Yes.
That guy who wore those hats with the ear flaps.
Yep. Hats. I had one of those. I don't know where it went.
You need to find it. Probably because it's too small because your head gained weight.
When you have a podcast like as successful as the PoddiMouths podcast, your head tends to get a lot bigger.
It's got some serious velocity, your head.
Yeah. Velocity.
It moves fast, and it has its own atmosphere.
Yeah, that's true. That's because I'm an older child.
You're permanently affixed in a smile because technology, parentheses, Nick, screwed up.
How did I screw up now? How is that a screw up?
Damn it. That was really fun, too. Now it's going to be just downhill from here.
Well, it's, again, PoddiMouths podcast.
So here's the problem about all of this. Nick thinks I've frozen up. He's frozen up.
But can you hear me?
Wonderful, wonderful internet power right now, but he doesn't.
But can you hear me?
So let's see if he can bring himself back.
I can see you.
And if you can't.
Hi.
Hi. I'm sure you fixed something because nothing on my end is wrong.
No, I was watching you and hearing you talk the whole time.
The reason I sit with my arms crossed is so I don't miss anything.
Yeah, I
don't want to miss anything else.
And I just sent you a text.
Did it?
Oh, it's my text is listening to me. Yeah, I guess. I had 199 meg download speed, so it wasn't me.
It is still.
I got a speed test on my my computer, so every time something like that happens, I test it to make sure it's not me. And I'm hitting record again now, so now the time's moving.
My time was moving, by the way.
Oh, yours was. I should have asked first.
Mine's 32.
32 down.
32 down, and 19 up.
Okay, so that should be plenty, but you're still much slower than me.
Well, it's about time. I don't mind telling you after all of your AT&T stuff.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm so much happier with my internet right now.
Well, that's
Except
oh,
even now I already told them not to be on the internet, but when my daughter is watching a movie and playing Roadblocks on her computer and my wife is working on her computer and I'm trying to do a webinar, then we get a little bit of a bottleneck even with 300 meg download.
yeah.
But
And I think that's what's going on, frankly. And have you noticed in the webinars that we've been in that a lot of times there's some slowdowns. And now I've lost you again. My recording time still keeps going, but not yours. Successfully generated.
yep. Well,
I would
is it
consider it
is it though? So your face was like, oh, like you just jumped off of a chair or something and you were stunned.
And you didn't take a picture.
I didn't take a picture. I should have.
Oh.
And wow. My phone was recording me texting again. Why is it doing that all of a sudden?
I'm sure it's some other minor piece of technology that's working really great for you.
Yeah, right?
Download,
so what we were talking about before we were so rudely interrupted has to do with exactly that, is the technology right now. We are struggling. And I think in the United States, as John was alluding to, I think we are struggling with the connections and some of our conference calls and some of the things that we've been doing online have not broken the system, but it's slowly breaking the system. We're finding cracks that we, in the internet industry, people, or in the technology industry, people have been saying the US is going to experience if there's ever a really huge influx like there has been. So it's not unexpected, but now we're actually seeing it happen. And I think that's what's happening with ours as well.
Yeah.
On the same token, could you imagine, John, going through this without the technology that we have now?
Well, I don't know how you could.
I don't think we could. I think our society probably would have broken if we were even 10 years ago, maybe 20.
Well, what was the 1921 epidemic? Wasn't 21 something like that? There's the picture I sent you.
Nice.
Isn't that awesome?
That is awesome.
So I sent him a picture of him doing the.
I'm posting that.
And they go, you have to.
Yep. If this one ever goes live, go ahead, finish what you were going to say, because I want to get back to.
I'm not sure what the last epidemic. I think the main one was, or the huge one was 1921, sometime around there.
Mm-hmm.
And was it 50,000 people that died or something like that? And so it's just some scary stuff, and they had no technology, anything like this, of course.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing in what we can do now, because it gives us the ability to work from home.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, I think a lot of people are surprised at how efficient we can be at home, at least in our industry. I think it's just really, it's really neat. I mean, we've been kind of playing with it for a while with those of us who've been doing podcasting and people that are producing content on YouTube and things like that. But now everyone is really getting, even my wife, who has kind of pushed it off for a long time. She has been, over the last couple of weeks, doing all of her dance classes. And I'm sorry, not her dance classes. She hasn't been doing her classes. They're preparing to do a performance technically at the end of the school year. Now it's probably going to be pushed back to August. But with her classes, they have to do a routine. So she's been finishing the routines and sending it out to the students on YouTube. And then she's also been doing some fitness courses for moms of those students. And she's really getting into it. She's really liking it. And this has kind of forced her to do it, which has been wonderful for her. Mm-hmm. It's something I've been trying to get her to do for years.
Have you encouraged her to try that before?
I have, because she's trying to find something that she would like to do, and she's been afraid of it. I think, and we do have some of our dealers who listen to our podcast. I think some of our dealers, and I know the ones that are listening agree with me, but I think some of our dealers are seeing that as well. They're seeing, oh, wow. So all of the stuff that people have been telling us we've needed to do for years isn't as scary as we thought it was.
Yeah.
And now they're doing it. And a lot of them are doing it very successfully.
And that's a really interesting point, I think. And I think every business is having to change a little bit, and certainly to modify what they've done. Those that have not noticed any change in business, they're few and far between.
Yes.
I mean,
right.
we can, you look at Amazon, Walmart.com, some of those entities have done very well.
Oh, yeah.
Because people would rather buy online. But Lysol has done very well, I think.
Yes.
Clorox probably also. And you think about, and I'm sure that's a group of companies. That's probably
SC Johnson, a family company or something like that.
Say, what's the other major one? I used to own some stock in them, but I don't anymore, so who cares? Anyway, but it's interesting how businesses have changed, and our dealers. Some people say, "Well, see, this is the way customers wanted to do business all along," and I don't believe that. I think
no, I don't either. I wouldn't say that.
I think that dealers, if business pushed them to do all business online, they would have done it a long time ago.
Right.
It's not that the market doesn't drive competitiveness, because it does. Anyway, so I agree with you. I think a lot of dealers are finding out that they're way better at this stuff than they gave themselves credit for.
Yeah, and I've used in the past the example of Carvana, and that's why you're probably looking at me going, "Why is he looking down at his lap?"
I always look at you thinking that.
That's true. That is very true. So, well, now is a bad example because they must have gone down over the weekend, but they're still very profitable. So I own stock in Carvana, and one thing that I have noticed over let's go. There we go. We took another drop over this week, but Carvana this past week was almost as high as its highest point. Its highest point was 60, looks like 65, and last week they were at 60. So
I'd be interested to know. I mean, I'm sure that's relative to the traffic they've been getting, Nick.
Absolutely.
They've been getting a lot more because people are sitting at home. What are they going to do? If they were even lightly in the market for a vehicle, just dabbling in it, they're going to go to Carvana because they have a great inventory of vehicles from which to choose. However, I'm not sure it's changed their sales that much.
No, I don't think it has at all. But it's people always say, well, Carvana is not profitable. Well, no, because they're in a growth mode. I don't know what that means now for them because of what's going on, but they're in a growth mode. Yeah. They're not going to be profitable in a growth mode, but that doesn't matter. They're a public company and they're making money for their stockholders or their shareholders. Yep. That's all that matters. Yep. And that's what I think a lot of people forget. And you froze again. That was my 2 cents. What was the last thing you heard about the Carvana thing?
Well, about Carvana, how they're not profitable yet, but they're taking care of their shareholders.
Yeah.
And that's what they're supposed to do. And I was just going to interject. Think Amazon.
Yep. And that's a great example.
Not profitable before.
Exactly. Exactly.
Take over the world.
Well, yeah, now they really are taking over the world. It's between them and Alibaba. I just like saying Alibaba.
Yeah.
Alibaba.
I know you like saying it.
Yeah, it's a great word.
Yes, it is. So that it's truly changed. The whole COVID-19 thing has changed everything. It's a lot of people think that we were victims of it because we have not done a couple of episodes, but the truth behind that may have had a little bit to do with it because it's changed our work structure.
Right.
But I've just moved. And so that also got in the middle of closing on one house, closing on the other one, movers, all that crap. And so I've had a lot less time. So thank you for your patience, listeners.
Are you thanking me? Oh, okay. I was going to say, are you thanking me or are you thanking the listeners?
Both listeners and me.
Yeah.
I had a nice chat with our friend Bill Taylor yesterday.
You did?
Well, not face to face because
of course not. Right.
I met him at Walmart. No, actually on Messenger we had a nice chat back and forth, and he said to say hello, and it's I think
hi, Bill.
I may be lying, but let's assume he meant that, whether he said it or not.
Right.
But
I know the truth.
he's doing well with his vehicle nanny gig, and if you haven't checked that out on Facebook too, he's an entertaining guy. And Nick has either fallen asleep or he's frozen.
I just texted you your face.
Oh no.
Yep.
Because I can't see enough of it here sitting in front of me.
Right.
And not only that, I keep looking at looks like I'm praying. I'm a praying mantis.
A praying Quadius.
Yeah, wouldn't that be? I think they're like this.
Yeah.
But I get to look at all the crap that I have yet to do.
Sorry, I like that piece of furniture behind you.
Thank you. I just got the desk. Let me show you the rest.
Okay. And now we're going on a tour of Quaddy's new office.
Well, not really, because I only have so much cord. This is you.
Oh, wow. Look at that screen. It's curved screen.
Massive.
Did I tell you my curved screen TV went out?
Oh, did it?
Yep. Completely out. Like for the last couple years, we had a dark band across the top. So you could still see, and it looked okay, but you had the regular, really nice colors at the bottom, and then the top was just a little bit darker. And then about a month ago or 2 months ago now, it just completely went out. So you're talking to me on your credenza.
So yes, I'm on the credenza, which is not quite matching of the desk, but it's close.
It looks like it is.
Yeah, it's close. But anyway, so we've got what I have over there, just going to be the music area probably at some point. I have a boatload of guitars back there and a couple of bins that I need to unpack. So yeah. And a lot of people say, "Oh, I have to unpack this." You what? No, I really have to unpack stuff, and taking some time. Anyway,
well, you just moved in there like not even a week ago. I've lived in my house for almost 3 years, and we're still unpacking things.
Well, we don't have nearly as much stuff as you. You're much wealthier, so we like to really go with little tiny things. I have like 4 things total. 1 is the desk, 2 is the credenza. The rest is my wife's. Now you're gone again, Nick. Any conversation we have, generally, isn't it?
It starts and ends with little tiny.
Little tiny. Hey, little tiny Nick. Actually, this screen that I'm watching on the curved screen, and it's a Samsung. It's a nice one.
Mm-hmm.
It's your actual life size almost.
Oh, well, that's nice. I'm looking at you on a Mac screen, so just those little bitty tiny. You're like, I can just pinch your head.
Well, I can pinch yours too, but I have to do this.
Use your whole hands. Yeah, right. Yeah. I understand. I have bigger screens in here, but they're for my work computer, so I don't have the Mac plugged into it. So
that's my little tiny work computer.
Oh, you're so cute.
Yeah. I loved you, by the way. I loved your background in our Zoom yesterday.
Okay, well, let's unpack that for a second for those who are listening to us that aren't on our team.
Yeah,
we had a challenge, and this was the second challenge we had because the first
challenge.
I
didn't know about it? Was that in Steven's email?
Yes, it was.
Oh, good, because that's why I didn't get a chance to get to it.
Okay, so anyway, it was the first challenge, and I used the same background for both. Was we were on a call and they asked. We started a new system, by the way. We're using Zoom. Instead of our old WebEx. And Zoom is it's really cool. It's got some really cool functionality. So you can change the background behind you. And I was on a sales call and they said, okay, everyone, why don't you put a picture of where you live? Because of course we're all remote now. So, you can either put a picture of your house or whatever you want. I put a picture of Nashville by a local photographer who did an HDR photo. And what HDR, for those of people who don't know what HDR is, high dynamic range. So it's got a lot of colors and it's almost looks comic booky.
It's very cool. Yeah, comic booky that's a really good way to describe it.
So I had the cityscape of Nashville behind me, and it's a really nice photo. So then for our staff meeting, the challenge was, okay, put your favorite place to vacation. So I left Nashville behind me because I travel so much that my favorite vacation is a staycation. I'd rather stay home. I see my house so rarely and I pay a lot of money for it. So I want to stay home. I got a lot of crap for that yesterday. It's like, so yeah, I like to stay home for vacation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, truly though, that was a great background. It was really cool. But there were some fun ones.
Oh yeah, there were. Yeah. What's the Tiger King? A lot of people were doing the Tiger King in the background.
Okay, have you seen that show?
I haven't. A lot of people have recommended it, and it's on my to watch list. But my wife is like, too many people are watching it because they recommend it, and a lot of those people are saying it's not worth it.
Look, I haven't seen it. I just read a couple of synopses. Oh my
Synopses.
God. Yes, it was not.
It was synopses. Synopses.
Snotzies. No, it was not that.
I wasn't going not Z. I was going so not C.
Wow, that's actually what it probably was. No, synopses. But yes, synopsises.
Synopsisize.
Or like a lot of people incorrectly say, indexes.
No, that one gets me. That one even gets me.
Good, because it's
I screw up some words here and there, but whew. It's indexes.
Yeah. I knew you'd correct
that. Maybe that's a stock market thing, because you always talk about indices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I didn't know if you were talking about like the North Sea or the Caspian Sea.
I think we're losing our listeners right now.
Indices.
Indices. Wow.
Well, I think we should have lost them a long time ago. Now your picture is frozen. Oh, now you're back. Okay,
but I can hear you. Yeah. I can hear you. That's all that matters, is that I can hear you.
Oh, you can't see me though?
I can see you just fine. You're rocking in your chair. You're pointing and you're rocking in your chair.
I am rocking in my chair. I always laugh at my own jokes and as I point to the sky, and so my chair gets a lot of action.
Someone's got to.
I know. Lisa just stuck her head down the stairs and she said, I'm going to Menards.
Nice. That's one thing I really miss about living in the Midwest is Menards.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about that before. I love Menards.
I do because it's, I do, but they've had some issues with quality over the years.
Yeah, so I go to Cape Girardeau, Missouri to visit a couple of stores once in a while, and they have a Menards there. And sometimes I just walk through just going, oh, Menards, how I miss you so.
How I miss you.
But that being said, because we are having technical Nick issues, we're going to cut this episode short. We just wanted to make sure that we actually got to talk live to, well, not live, but, actually got to talk to you guys instead of either missing a week or putting an old episode up, just to let you know that we're still here.
We're live.
We're not going away. Podcast is not going away, or this podcast is not going away.
Nope.
So,
as much as they wanted to.
I know a few people that have said that, but
we have protesters every morning. Yep. Go away,
yeah, we'll have to talk about that one later. Yeah, anyway.
Point to the sky. And
seriously?
Yeah, whatever.
So anyway, we are going to cut this one a little bit shorter than usual, but hey, you heard our voices. We'll be back next week with another episode. Hopefully it'll be a full one and not a short one.
Yes.
But we'll catch up a little bit more then. In the meantime, head up to our website, PoddiMouths.com, and from there you can navigate to our social media, see what's going on there, join in the conversation, and you know what, John? We'll see you next time.
See ya!